Welcome to Season 1 of the PMO Community Podcast Series. I'm Aina Live, and I'm excited to guide you through another insightful conversation as a part of our ongoing book writing challenge, focusing on the evolution of the PMO and the rise of the Chief Project Officer. Today, I'm thrilled to dive into a captivating discussion with Nataliia Zarudnieva, a certified PMP and an inspiring voice for the next generation of project leaders, Gen Z project managers. Nataliia is at the forefront of change, technology, and innovation in project management, bringing a fresh, tech-driven mindset that's transforming how projects are managed today. In this episode, Nataliia and I will explore how Gen Z adaptability is shaping the future of project management, the unique challenges Gen Z project managers face in building relationships with older stakeholders, and how they can overcome these obstacles. How AI and other emerging technologies can empower Generation Z to build trust with stakeholders more effectively. Then we will move on to the topic of the evolving role of the Chief Project Officer, particularly for Generation Z professionals looking to grow in leadership, and how social media, digital first thinking, and tech savviness are influencing team collaboration, communication, and project success. Join us as Nataliia shares her insights on how Gen Z is redefining project management and how organizations can support their growth into leadership roles. This episode is packed with strategies and ideas that will inspire the next generation of project leaders. Hi, Nataliia. Thank you for joining.
Hi, Ina. How are you today?
I'm good. Welcome to the podcast. Is it your first time?
Yes, it is. And I'm feeling worried a little bit. Hopefully, it will help me to feel more comfortable today.
For sure, we will go through this together and nothing to worry about. We will just go through the questions you wrote in your chapter for the book writing challenge and just relax and have fun.
Sure, let's get started.
Let's get it started. So, Nataliia, Generation Z is known for embracing change. How do you think the adaptability will shape the future of project management?
Well, I think today we're finally seeing Gen Z taking more management roles, and I just think it's really exciting to see how they bring their changes to project management approach. I think, first of all, Gen Z generation is focused more on being agile and moving from the traditional project management to more modern approach. They don't really care about strict rules and hierarchies that the traditional project management brought us. They're more about being agile. They feel free to use Scrum, Agile, and waterfall approaches just to get the project moving. And this helps them to be flexible and help their team to move towards success. I think another thing is that Gen Z is more tech savvy than the previous generations, and it's really easier for them to use AI tools and techniques just to get things done. And also, I think that the most interesting thing is that Gen Z generation is more focused on sustainability things. It's not just something that is in project scope and that it's a wish list. They're more focused on how to make an impact to the environment and our society. And I think this makes our project management being even more useful in terms of sustainability.
Thank you, Nataliia. And as a generation millennial, I feel like my generation is a bridge between Gen Z and the older generations, because when I was growing up, we didn't have technologies. The younger generation have already since they're born. But we got all of these technologies when we were relatively at the young age. And I also can feel the difference between generations, like older generations, they're used to more traditional approaches, which made sense when they were younger because they were transitioning from the factory evolution to the IT evolution. But I think for the younger generation, this feeling of bureaucracy and traditional mindset is even more painful than to mine. And also the age gap is more relevant than to millennials right now. So, Nataliia, I would like to ask you about what unique challenges do Generation Z project managers face in building relationships with older stakeholders, and how can they overcome this?
Well, I think that one of the the biggest challenges that a Gen Z faces daily is navigating generation difference in communication and management styles. I found that younger generation is more about getting everything quick and direct, whereas the older stakeholders may perceive it as disrespect. Older stakeholders may think that the younger generation skip the formalities, and sometimes they think that it's still part of the disrespect. So to bridge this gap, my top piece of advice for the younger generation is to practice patience. I know it's difficult, and sometimes we want to just jump on the projects and show that older stakeholders how everything can be done faster and in a more efficient way, but this may bring us towards disrespect and misunderstanding. So I think it's important to remember that those older stakeholders achieve their success not by accident, and they have lots of experience that they can contribute to the project. So it's really important for the younger generation to respect all the stakeholders and just to value different approaches and hear the feedback from them.
Yeah, I am in a total alignment with that line, Natalia, that we as younger generation need to value the feedback from the older stakeholders, because I remember myself when I just joined a project manager's cohort, I also felt like everything can be done faster, and what these older people are waiting for. Let me do that. Let me show them how to make it quicker and maybe even better. But gaining the experience, I understood that as older you are, as more risks and experience you get through, and you start being more cautious because you start being more strategic. You try to evaluate all of the possible scenarios, and it takes time for your brain to think about like 50 or like 100 cases of probabilities, what might happen, kind of like projection to future. And as older you are, as more cautious you are. So this feedback is definitely relevant for younger generation, because they didn't face that many challenges as the older did, but also for the older stakeholders. Sometimes we are stuck in this analysis paralysis, and we forget how it is to be young and to jump in sometimes without thinking, just do it. So I believe of building this bridge and listening to each other is the key of the future success.
Absolutely.
And Natalia, answering your first question, you mentioned technology. And I agree that technology plays a big role for a younger generation. So how AI and the other tools empower a generation to build trust with stakeholders more effectively?
Well, I think to build trust, you need to make the right decisions. And to make those right decisions, you need accurate data. This is where AI steps into. It can provide you valuable data-driven insights. AI can analyze vast amounts of information, helping you to understand the current situation and manage the dynamics effectively. And of course, we need to remember that trust isn't built overnight, and it takes time. As stakeholders witness you using AI tools and technologies to drive data and making the right decisions, they will start to trust you and having a great rapport with you, even with those who were initially skeptical about AI and modern tools. So I think that patience is a key. Just showcase your older stakeholders how AI and technologies can help you to manage projects more effectively and make the right decisions. And with time, they will trust you more.
Thank you, Natalia. And our book is about the raising of the role of the Chief Project Officer. So how does, from your opinion, the role of the Chief Project Officer, CPO, differ from a traditional project manager, and especially for Gen Z professionals looking to grow in leadership?
Well, I'm a big fan of project managers, and I truly believe that everything they do on a daily basis is crucial to an organization. And with all my due respect, project managers can become so busy with keeping all stakeholders and project sponsors satisfied, making sure that everything gets on time, within scope and budget, that they don't really have time and room to think about more strategic things and how to align organizations and projects in a more strategic way. So I think this is where chief project officer comes in, because they have time to focus on more strategic things, and they can see things in a better and holistic ways, how the portfolios and projects can be connected to meet the business goals. And I think if a project manager wants to become a chief project officer, they need to develop critical thinking and being able to distress from the operational things and day-to-day tasks on a more strategic and holistic picture of the things.
And talking about leadership and growth, as a Generation Z grows into leadership roles, how can organizations better support their change management and resilience?
Well, I think Gen Z is all about changes, and they know how to tackle them. And organizations need to support Gen Z project managers to be more resilient and adaptive to change. First of all, when we talk about changes, I think it's close to innovations and being able to make mistakes and take risks. So I think that organizations should support Gen Z project managers to take risks and do things in a new way, especially when it at first thing seems not to be the right thing. With supporting Gen Z project managers, their organizations will help new generations to take part in projects and be heard with their voices and opinions. And this way, they can make even more data-driven and modern decisions. And this will help their projects to be successful.
Yeah, and talking about support, technological reliance can sometimes overshadow human connection, and it's challenging to support without having enough human interaction. So, how do you think Gen Z can balance the human element in project management with their love for technology?
Yeah, I think that many people worry that technology develops and human connection will diminish. Honestly, I disagree with that, because I think that the technology develops and it finally gives us more of our precious time back. All you need to do is just to set up parameters to do the project schedules, analyze risks and costs, and finally, project managers have more time to do more meaningful things like building connections, relationships with stakeholders, managing the team dynamics, increase the team's morale, and so on. So I think that it's important not to be afraid of AI and technology, and just constantly think that finally this technology may help us to use our time wisely.
And talking about strong stakeholder relationships, with a digital first mindset, how do you think, Nataliia, can Generation Z project managers ensure these strong stakeholder relationships without having that much in-person interaction with the stakeholders?
Well, first of all, I think it's a myth that a Gen Z prefers, interactions only in a digital way. I think it's still important to recognize that in order to build stronger relationships, we need to try to schedule a couple of in-person meetings with stakeholders, just to read their body language, feel their energy, and understand what's their attitude towards the project. It's also important to understand that there are some people who are not feeling comfortable to talk to us in an open and transparent way over Teams or Zoom, because they're afraid that we may record the conversations. So for the beginning of the project, I would still advise to try to connect in person with people. However, if it's impossible to do so and we still need to interact on a digital basis only, I would advise using different collaboration tools to communicate with the stakeholders. Microsoft Teams, Zoom, Slack can be used to update stakeholders on the project progress, gather feedback, and so on. I think it's still important to have one-on-ones with your teams and senior management just to build rapport and make sure that we're on the same page. And also with the digital thing, I think it's really important to be able to communicate clearly, because with the emails or Microsoft Teams, we are not able to share our hidden cues. So we need to be able to communicate clearly and tailor our communication to each stakeholder and their preferences.
Thank you, Nataliia. And you already mentioned a few tools on how can you collaborate clearly with the stakeholders, even without having this luxury of having in-person interaction. And I also believe that as millennials, we were the first who challenged the traditional channels of communication and conversation and started using and leveraging social media for the corporate benefits, and even forced some organization to build an internal social media to make collaboration more modern and to improve the speed. So I'm wondering, how can Gen Z project managers leverage the social media to improve team collaboration and communication in projects?
I think not long time ago, keeping stakeholders updated on project progress, especially through social media, wasn't a big thing. Project managers used to update public only when it was about like a big projects related to highway constructions or hospital buildings, and even then they were not consistent and were not taken seriously. However, I think today there is a mutual interest from public and project managers to share feedback and updates on projects. So I think it's really important to use social media and help the public to get more information on how the project is going. So we can use different dedicated platforms like Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, to post updates on our project progress, milestones, and also allow public to share their feedback and comments on how the project is going. And I think it's an interesting trick is that I think when you share your honest status update on the projects, especially with the public, I'm pretty sure they will be fine if the project will be delayed, because they will feel that you're transparent and open to them, and they will understand what were the current issues, and people know that the life is real. It's really impossible to plan everything ahead. And of course, social media can be used for the project team as well, not just for public and public stakeholders. When the project is so big, project managers tend to focus on their internal team only in order to get things done, and they don't really pay attention to other departments and other cross-functional teams. So social media can allow us to gather feedback from all stakeholders, either it's finance, marketing, IT, or operations. And this way we will be able to get their feedback and input at the early stages of our projects. And this way, I'm pretty sure that the end product will be even more useful for the organization when we leverage all ideas and feedback.
And I also think that going public, definitely without overruling NDA signups, we can increase the sense of belonging from our customers and our audience, like we all building this product or a project together. And even people who are not working in the organization and not using these products, they might also feel like we belong to this production, and they potentially might want to work for this company. So we are helping the organizations to increase the pool of great employers, and also people watching kind of like a soap opera, what is happening with the product. So they might have a clear idea why they want to join this specific organization, what they like about it, what they can bring, what they want to change. So I believe leveraging social media definitely helps everyone to benefit of this technology. And Nataliia, looking to the future, how will Gen Z's leadership style and tech-driven mindset influence the evolution of PMOs and project management practices?
It's a great question. I think Gen Z will influence project management practices in a great way. First of all, I think this generation have a strong emphasis on inclusivity and collaboration. They focus less on hierarchy and traditional structures, and they pay attention more to the people who will use the end product and who will be impacted by the project. So Gen Z project managers encourage input from all stakeholders, regardless if they are decision makers or not. And I think this fosters innovative solutions, first of all, for sure. I also think that Gen Z is all about agility and flexibility, and they prefer iterative approaches that allow us to get quick responses from stakeholders and determine if we're on the right track. This contrasts with the old project management approach when we were trying to build everything up front just to make a good impression for our stakeholders and make them feel that everything is well planned and under control. And also, I think it's worth mentioning that Gen Z generation is all about remote work and or hybrid work environment. There are those leaders who care less about where team members are located and how many hours they spend in the office and in their cubicles, and more about your positive contribution to the project and the team. So I think this is a new switch for project management, because Gen Z people don't really care where you're located. All they care about is that you contribute to the team and society.
Thank you, Nataliia, and thank you all for tuning in to the PMO Community Podcast for this enlightening discussion with Nataliia Zarudnieva. A special thanks to our volunteers at the PMO Community Podcast for making this episode possible. And stay tuned for more captivating insights and interviews in our upcoming episodes. And don't forget to follow us on social media to stay updated. If you find this episode valuable, please remember to like and share it. Feel free to reach out to me, Aina Alive, on LinkedIn with any questions or requests. And for all of the latest updates, make sure to follow us on our social media, such as the PMO Community LinkedIn page, Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Samsung, and Amazon Music. Thank you.